I've been outside all day. And here in Cleveland, yesterday it was 65, and today it is 41 and snowing. So, all right, it appears I think Mark is alive, and he is helping me out through all this. So, hi, my name is Robert Ciresi. I am the CEO of Ciresi Morek. Happy Easter and Passover. For those of you who know me, know that I hate being in front of the camera. It drives me crazy. However, I'm doing this to help folks out. I'm also doing this, like I said, I wanted to help those who might need some help. Mark Mork and I, my partner, we've got a great team. We're still working hard. We're on the phone constantly. And like I said, I wanted to share our efforts and share some good news out there. So, for those out there looking for new roles, I will tell you, I think just today I got 2 new searches. We'll publicize those next week, but there are companies out there that are hiring, and they're asking us to help find some folks. So I want to talk, like I said, today I was going to talk about our network, go over our survey a little bit. I think things that can help you. So when Mark and I shut down the office, I think it's 4 weeks ago. I think it was, about a month ago. We had no idea that unemployment was going to reach 17 million folks within 3 weeks. We had no idea what our customers were going to do. We had no idea what candidates were going to do. We had no idea what toilet paper was going to be going off the shelf. So really, I mean, you name it, a lot of curveballs in these past, I think now 6 weeks. So what I did know though is that I love search. I love doing what I do, and I'm confident that we'll be okay. And I apologize. I don't want to butcher this, but Winston Churchill said, "I am an optimist. It does not seem too much use being anything else. I am an optimist. It does not seem too much use being anything else." And I feel the same way. I'm always looking for the bright side of things, even when things are not bright. On a personal note, my father passed away when he was a young man, and it was in 2001. So I just always remember thinking, at least I got that much time with him. So even though I lost him at a young age, I feel blessed that I got, the time that I had with him. So I know I just got a text. I know he was 58. So as a reminder. But so people wonder what the hell I do all day in the search business. And I tell them it's almost like dating. We're not dating. It's matchmaking. I take companies, I take candidates, I put them together, and I'm able to be compensated for doing so. I'm only able to do this because I have a fantastic network. If I didn't have a fantastic network, I couldn't do my job. And that's why I want to talk to you about today is your network and how you utilize that. I have a phenomenal memory. I don't forget resumes. I don't forget names. I forget birthdays. So I treat everyone very fairly, very honest. And when I screw up, I own it immediately. I have a 9-year-old daughter, and she reminds me every time we play basketball that I stink and I can't shoot a foul shot. So like I said, she's a blessing. But back to what I do. I'm on the phone before COVID, 30 to 40 hours a week, just simply talking to people, who's hiring, who's going where, who's not hiring. I call it being in the game. And I love being in the game, being on the phone, talking to folks, who's doing what, why, who's building this. And when I go home, I'll tell you, I don't want to be in the game anymore. I turn off the phone, but during the regular, 50 hours a week, I'm hammering out the phone. And I apologize. I thought my dog was going to walk into the office while I was doing this phone call. He's a 200-pound mastiff, so I'm looking out. But these past few weeks, my job has changed drastically. I'm not calling to see who's hiring. I'm not calling to see who's switching. I recently, sent in a note to my close networks to kind of say, hey, what's going on out there? Give me some good news that I can share. What can I talk about this Friday to folks who might need, some good news? So I did that. And they responded, and I'll get to that, but there were some great responses from some of the biggest brand name companies in the world. in my 22 years of my search, I mean, I've created an awesome network, a network I can rely on, a network of friends. My network is like your network. It's how you thrive. It's how you become successful. It's who you can lean on when times are bad or good, or who you can celebrate with. I don't care if it's 2, 3, or 1,000, but you got to have a good network. So going back to the network, and I apologize. Next, we're moving our phone calls, our live broadcast from Fridays afternoons till Wednesdays at 4 p.m. Maybe take a break in the middle of the week and join us. Like I said, Wednesdays at 4 rather than Friday afternoons. So just put that in your calendar. So my business is kind of crafted on picking up the phone and calling people. We're not a big email company, even though we utilize LinkedIn a lot. I started in 1998. I had a telephone. I would just call everybody. And that's the same way I tell my guys, even my young guys. I have guys in my office who are fresh out of college. I call them Generation Idiot, but they text, they email, they don't actually talk to people. In today's day and age, and we're going to talk about this, how webcams, you can't find a webcam anymore. But I tell everybody, call them, figure out what they do, learn about them. It's unbelievable. People are blown away that when you call them just to talk to them, say, hey, tell me about yourself. Who are you? What do you do? Why do you do it? And then in a phone call, they might say, well, do you have a job for me? And my guys tell them, well, no, I just wanted to learn who you were and what you wanted to do. And I teach my guys, this is how you do it. And your response should be, hey, I may not place you now, but I might place you down the road. But it's just kind of how we crafted our business, is just pick up the phone and learn who you are, what you want to do. And it's worked very, very well. And it's, like I said, goes back, like I said, to the webcam. Like I said, it's baffling. The reason I'm doing this kind of stuff is because people want to see each other. My neighbors are coming over to my house later today, and they're going to stand 10 feet away just to say hi. Maybe I should push them away a little farther, but especially you, Andreas, but I won't say his last name. But I want to also talk about our network and the survey we recently did at the end of the year. In the survey we did, some of you hopefully a lot of you participated. It was 70,000 folks in our network that was sent out to, and we did with HR, finance, and operations folks. And we have so much great data, and we're going to keep on sharing it. But there's some certain questions that I wanted to share with you guys today, which are kind of neat. So one of the questions was, if happily employed, will you speak to a recruiter about a new role? 80% of you said yes. That was awesome. And it means that 80% of you, when a recruiter contacted you, you were open to having that conversation. Now, you might say that's great for just my business. No, I think it's great in general. You should always look out and see what's better for your career or better opportunity for you. Why not? Another question we asked is, if happily employed, how often do you apply for new roles? 50% of you said yes. So when a recruiter calls you, obviously it's, I might call you and say, hey, Joe Smith, how are you? My name is Robert Ciresi. The reason for the phone call is I have an opportunity. Would you mind talking? And like I said, 80% of you, over 80% would say, yeah, absolutely. And we do our best to say after hours or what have you, or convenient time. But roughly 50% of you, when you're happily employed, will apply for jobs. That's encouraging, but it also shows that this is I guess where I get the notes. This is the data that I gather, that most of you prefer working through a recruiter, and you're more receptive to working through a recruiter. So which goes back to, I guess, the network. Whether it be me or some other recruiter out there, or an individual who staffing or whatever it might be, you need to find someone that you can reach out to when you might not have an opportunity, or someone who can help you with your resume, craft a response. If you go to our website, you'll see we put everything out there. Heck, we put our customers out there. I mean, hell, I'm wearing one of my customers' shirts right now. How to answer questions, how to interview, how to send a thank you note. But you got to know, recruiter. I mean, when I can't sell my house, but if I'm going to sell my house, I'm going to call my buddy who sells a house for a living and say, what do I got to do to sell this house? when you're looking for a new job, 80% of you want to work with a recruiter, and please find a good one because there's a lot of bad ones out there, but a recruiter that will help you with your resume or help craft an answer, or, hey, how do I answer that? I recently left my old job. What I'm hearing and not a lot right now, and this is very important. And I saw recently an article about it, that those of you, I'd be very careful about maybe some of the individuals who decide to take unemployment rather than work, because I remember back during the the Great Recession, a lot of folks who took that, they took the monies rather than worked. And I know sometimes it's the best decision, but just be careful on the decisions you make, because if you have the ability to work, please do so. But that's a whole nother conversation. And going back, like I said, going back to the network itself, guys, right now we're in a situation where it's a little crazy, a pandemic. I can't stress enough, and I hear this all the time for folks who call me, and this happens recently, that they may have been let go, or after 20 years at the same company, or they said, well, I screwed up. I didn't do enough networking events. Now, I'm not saying go to have coffee with some Joe Schmo for the hell of it, but I'm saying if a headhunter calls you once in a while, or if Joe Blow shares an opportunity with you, or there's an event or something that just puts your brand out there, don't sit and hide and build on, even LinkedIn. Candidly, and I tell those folks all the time, if I go on LinkedIn and I notice that your LinkedIn is not very attractive, I don't even try recruiting you. And it might sound shallow and so forth, but it's like Zillow. When you go on Zillow and you're looking for a new home, and you see a home and it has 3 pictures, and in one picture you have dirty laundry and you have toys laying around, I'm not going to go look at that house. Same thing as LinkedIn. If I see someone hasn't spent a lot of time making their brand better, well, I may not recruit that person. Now, like I said, I'm not speaking for every bad LinkedIn, but if you're going to be out there, brand yourself well. It's like the old adage is, don't have a web. If you're going to have a bad website, don't even have a website. So going back to network, and I'm sorry for bouncing around, but this is kind of how my brain works on a Friday afternoon. Professional references. We asked this question. This answer blows me away. We asked, do you find value in utilizing professional references? Only 50% of you said yes, which I can't believe it's that low. We use professional references all the time. When we do a search, when I place someone or whoever, I always ask, do you know this person? Are they any good? Are they any good? And that's a common question. Are they any good? And for our network of the 70,000 people we sent this out to, or our network, only half of you thought that was important. Guys, I will tell you, professional references are hugely important. You got to have them. And going back to, you got to have a powerful network. You got to have a network that's going to say you're good. You have to have a network that's going to provide guys like me, when I make a phone call, to suggest, hey, can you tell me about Joe? Is he any good? But when only 50% of you thought that was important, I blew me away. Yeah, absolutely blew me away. Speaking of which, and not to go off topic, but I sometimes do. Recently, a friend of mine is looking for a new opportunity, and he applied for a job. And I always tell him, apply for anything. What's the worst that can happen? You get told no. It's kind of like asking somebody out. What's the worst that can happen? Hell, the one reason I'm married is because I asked my wife out for 2 years. But apply. If it's a job you have interest, who knows? Maybe the person who sees your resume is a friend or went to the same school or something or other. Take a shot. But I think he was rejected within minutes, absolute minutes. And he's got a pretty powerful resume, which, and I can't stress this enough, and I hate to keep using that same verbiage, but it stuck in him that this company was that shallow in his application. Just like us, we do our best. Every application we get, every person we talk to, we try to give them as much feedback as possible. And like I said, it goes back to network and so forth. But I'm going to go off that for a little bit. Another question that we asked, and follow me on this one, was, when searching for a new role, would you rather a recruiter assist you in finding a new role, or would you prefer to secure a new role on your own? And I guess I'm talking about recruiter and networking. Once again, I'm not trying to sell Ciresi Morek, not at all. We're not the best search firm. I'm sorry, we're not the best first search firm for everybody. I think we do an excellent job, but we're not going to do IT. We're not going to do, doctors and nurses. Recently I had a woman contact me. We're offering our capabilities for free. We published this last week on LinkedIn. Basically, those companies that are deemed essential, that have a critical hire, don't have the capacity to do the hire. We said, hey, call us. We'll help you. We'll market it. This woman contacted me. She's head of HR at a hospital on the west side of near Toledo, and they need RNs and therapists and so forth. And I said, listen, just send me the description, send me a little bit about the company, and we'll do our best to broadcast it and market it. But that's not our industry. But I hate to go off topic there, but going back to the recruiters itself, what this stat said, about 80% would rather find a recruiter. Recruiters, you got to find a recruiter who's going to help you. You got to find a recruiter who knows your industry. You got to find a recruiter who knows not only you, but people in your industry. So for us, we do a lot of work in automotive or aerospace or building materials or what have you. But if you're out on the market, yesterday an individual contacted me and I couldn't place him because how do I find a recruiter? And I said, go online, type in the type of jobs that you're good for, whatever Google might show up. Then you go to those job postings and you contact those recruiters and you interview them, right? He's like, oh, okay, makes sense. I mean, it's common sense stuff, but like I said, we're not the best fit for everybody. But like I said, with this stat saying that 80% of you would like to use a recruiter, I think that's awesome. But like I said, you got to find a good one. Build your network, and don't. Now is everybody's claiming, everybody is trying to find a good network. Everybody's trying to find a recruiter. Each day I'm getting littered with not littered, but I'm getting hammered with resumes. I'm getting littered with what to do about accounts receivables. That's the thing that's driving me crazy. I don't know about you, but everybody's basically saying, hey, when your business goes out of business, what kind of help can you do? That drives me crazy. So before we open up to all these questions, if you do have questions, please ask me anything. I reached out to my network, and I do have a very powerful network, and I asked them to tell me some good stuff for today. I'm tired of hearing all the bad stuff. I mean, Trump's probably right now, and they're probably yelling at him and yelling at each other, so I didn't want to hear it. But I reached out to some folks in my network, and I asked for some good stories. And this happens to be from a vice president of HR with a Fortune 5 company. So I asked him, give me some good news. This is what he wrote verbatim. In the midst of the chaos and uncertainty, I have witnessed tremendous acts of kindness, generosity, gratitude, and courage these past 6 weeks. Adversity seems to bring out the very best in some people and sometimes the worst in others. It is amazing to see how people respond to the same or similar circumstances in remarkable different ways. I've learned to appreciate the effectiveness of total remote working, something I probably would not have said previously. I've also reflected on the reality that there really isn't that much we need to be happy and safe. Our families, some food, and a sense of purpose. Much of our life is spent on discretionary activity, things that aren't bad things but aren't necessary. Sheltering in place truly simplifies the day and allows you to be very productive. I also spend time thinking about this extended quarantine of this country will change the way we all behave in the future, including how it may shape elements of our children's lives. I'm a religious person. I'm also very much into karma. I will tell you, and I'm fortunate, I'm blessed, I can work from home. But these past few weeks, the time that I've been able to spend with my children, like I said, my father passed away young, and I hope they remember this time and they had fun with their father, because I don't see him as much as I'd like to, all the work I do. But it's been awesome, absolutely awesome to wake up with them, make them breakfast, hang out with them, watch the same stupid show every night, but it is what it is. This is from a president of a Fortune 500 company that I wrote to. So, and she's one of the nicest, greatest people I know. The one thing that I'd share is during this time, we have utilized the time to make a more concerted effort to reach out to our customers on a more frequent basis. And that's kind of like what I'm doing now. I'm trying to reach out to as many folks as possible, and customers and candidates to customers. For me, it's the same thing. Um, we are very transparent in our production plans, inventories, to ensure that we are ready to go when they start back up. As the supply base is less stable, we also have taken the time to offer our services and products as they make contingency plans. We found that this is a time for us to strengthen our relationships both internally and with our customers. That same can be said for family as well, to strengthen relationships with family. I know it's tough. My mother lives 10 minutes away, and it's hard not to, go over there and see her. But I do my best. But a VP of HR here in Northeastern Ohio, wonderful human being. I would like to say that we are extremely fortunate in Northeastern Ohio to have such a wonderful manufacturing center, unlike anywhere else in the United States, to keep our local community vibrant and relevant for years to come. With Eaton, Lincoln Electric, Swagelok, Lubrizol, Parker Hannifin, Steris, Nestle's, Timken, and many others, manufacturing remains alive and well in the local area and will grow in opportunity the years to come. Even with these uncertain and challenging times, a lot of our collective manufacturing as companies has been resilient to the adversity. Yes, we as manufacturers have to maneuver through obstacles just like any other company. But the point is that the future of Northeastern Ohio is bright and fertile regarding manufacturing. I see it continuing to grow, and the need for talent and overall skills increasing. These are very good problems to have. And candidly, we don't do a lot of work. I don't think there's a customer on that list. But we don't do a lot of work in Northeastern Ohio. But I do love it. It's home, and I'm glad. And like I said, there's a lot of good news there. Last but not least, this is a vice president of HR for the automotive market. Is one of the leading markets getting hammered right now. Here's a vice president of HR from a very large tier one supplier, trying to put together the appropriate protocols for our employees once they get back to work. And I didn't even know this. And I saw this today, and because he writes this playbook. I guess Lear published a playbook, Safe Work Playbook. And I guess if you go online, you can see it, those who are in manufacturing or whatever business. But glad they're not like the NFL team. Glad they are not like an NFL team and are anal about sharing what's in their playbook. So like I said, Lear put this out there, and I guess a lot of companies are utilizing it. So good job, Lear, even though you fired me a few years ago. Our good news is that our people, especially those that can work remotely, are working very diligently to make sure we get back to work safely. And then we will still have a viable company once this hiatus in revenue coming is over. The hard work for our plant personnel will be coming within the next 5 weeks to get the plants prepared to start putting all our safety protocols in place. I am very proud that our workforces did not panic in the weeks this pandemic was beginning, and we were still operating. They did their jobs and fulfilled their responsibilities, even though anxiety levels were starting to rise. So, and our small contribution to the effort we are making, I'm sorry. I didn't want to go over that because that would be too personal to the company. I don't want to share that. So I sent this email out to about 60 people, and I'm sure I'll be getting a response. I get a new response every day. And guys, now's the time. I mean, now is the time to don't just sit at home and watch soap operas. Now's the time to reach out to your network, build a better network. People want to chat right now. It's been an interesting few weeks. So once again, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm free for another couple minutes. We're going to change our times to from Fridays till Wednesday afternoons at 4. We'll kind of broadcast that on LinkedIn. But does anybody have any questions for me that I can answer? Ask me anything. I'm surprised no one from my office is asking me a question just to rattle me. Are we getting more applications now than before? Yeah, I think we always did a good job of getting a lot of applications and resumes. I think we do a good job posting our jobs on our website and the tools that we have. But I can tell you that in my inbox, I have probably 200 resumes I have to go over this weekend to look at. So that's going to be Sunday morning, I think. But we're still getting plenty, a bunch of resumes. Any other questions? Okay. Hey guys, thanks for joining me. I will see you Wednesday, I think at 4 o'clock, and we'll publicize it on LinkedIn. So all my best. Oh, are people answering their phone when you call more so now that before? Yeah, I think so, but I don't call people randomly. I try to set it up via text or via email. I do want to respect their time. So I try to schedule all my calls. For me, it works better for me. I could be with my kid, I could be outside but yeah, I think people are, I sent this email out, people responded within minutes. So I do think people are being, and they have to be. If you're not going to be answering the phone right now or answering emails in this market, you're a jerk, candidly. You got to help everybody out. So, all right. Well, it is 4:30. I appreciate, I'm sorry, it's 4:27. So I'm going to give one more minute. Okay. Well, hey guys, have a wonderful weekend, Passover and Easter, and stay safe. Take care. Bye-bye.